knowledge being spread. It's like warm butter across the bread. Smooth, I know you like that. Flow with the grain and don't fight that. You want righteous love, you found the right match. With Marty McFly, they on the right track. Yeah, gotta dig the dirt to plant the seed. Spread roots till you sprout like a tree. Donnie Jones, she the one you wanna see. Donnie Jones live, this is where you wanna be. It's Donnie Jones live, Donnie Jones live. It's Donnie Jones live, Donnie Jones live.
Welcome to Donnie Jones Live with your girl, Donnie the Tree Lady,
and that guy that's dealing with just regular new life, Marty McFly. What it do, Miss Donnie?
Man, what it do? Y'all, for those of you that are on the radio, listeners on the radio, y'all need to go check him out because I don't know what Marty is doing right now, but your skin looks so fresh and so moist and so clean.
I will honestly
y'all need to go to YouTube and check him out.
Come look at me. But no, honestly, I think it's, for the longest, I've heard people say things about, changing your diet, the things that you put in, how effective. And I've been really hard-headed for years and years and years. And I just I eat what I wanted to eat. But now being on lockdown, I can't go to my regular fast food places all the time. So it's changed my diet because I'm eating more, salads, more, healthier food than, and
really?
It's funny because not being a creature of habit now, huh?
Right.
Yeah, not being a creature of habit now. So now I'm looking for new places to eat at. So it's not the same hamburger and French fries. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And
I just, I just wish you had a friend of yours that had talked to you about that, for months. I don't know, probably 3 years. I don't know. I just wish you had a friend that had talked to you about that kind of stuff. If you only had a friend, that had talked to you about that.
Here's the thing. They do this in church a lot of times. They want you to be lead by example. If I don't see the change in you, so if I had a friend that really had that significant change that before and after, then I could say, you know what?
Right, exactly.
They had a good point, So
they did.
Learn by like that. But anyway, Donnie, how was your week? With all this stuff going on, how has been your week?
Believe it or not, man, with everything that's going on, it's been really great. I've had some challenges. For those of you that don't know, I did lose my brother, Daniel Leon Hodges. He's a renowned artist. You guys can still go to his Facebook page and check him out. It's under Daniel Leon Hodges or Daniel Hodges, the artist. But yeah, so that was tough, and having the funeral and everything, and then transitioning out of that and kind of getting back into regular life. But you know what's weird? I was sitting at the funeral and this sense of peace just came over me. Like for a moment, I started thinking about the pandemic. I started thinking about, losing him. I started to think about what's going on in our country between the races and Black Lives Matter and police brutality. And I started to feel this sense of, not being in control of things, which I'm not in control anyway, but I just started to feel all these things. And then all of a sudden, it was almost like I feel like a wind came through the funeral home. It was weird. And I just all of a sudden felt all this stuff lift off of me. I had a little cry session, a little tear session, not a real heavy duty one, but just a few little tears thinking about everything. And then all of a sudden this sense of peace came over me. And I was hoping it would last, and it has lasted. And even right now, talking to you, that same inner sense of calm is still there, and I know that in you being a biblical scholar that you are, it's almost harkens back to the term of peace that surpasses understanding. Because if you guys knew exactly what was going on still on a daily basis in my life, in business, with trucks, equipment, guys, all this kind of stuff, you'd be like, wow, how can she be at peace? But there's so much crazy stuff going on that I'm like, I'm just like, I put everything in God, everything that I need to do to continue to grow and make my life right. Oh man, I'm feeling good. I feel peace. I went to the beach with my girls this last weekend and did a little, what do they call it? Body surfing. Yeah, we went to the beach. It was not a packed beach because I know what you get ready to say. I know what you get ready to say. Marty getting ready. Y'all, I'm going to tell you right now, Marty's getting ready to call me out. But yeah, I took my girls to the beach, but we went to like a private beach, and it was beautiful. Now I'm going to ask you how your week was because I can see it on your face. You getting ready to say something. So we're going to just pivot from that and ask how your week was.
All right. Yeah. We'll put a pin in that and I'll come back and ask you a few questions about your vacation a little bit later. And something tell me you probably went to Florida knowing you.
I didn't see. This is why I didn't want to say.
Yeah, you went to Florida to the private beach in Florida. Oh, yeah. That's a good place of social distancing. Yeah.
No, I was socially distanced because we weren't around a bunch of other people. We were in the ocean.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm asking you about yourself.
Yeah, my week. So anyway,
thank you.
My week has been an up and down week, Donnie. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And I got to make some disclaimers real quick because, last week we were having a conversation, and I was, in a sense saying that all lives matter, and I do care about the Black thing. And I got to just say, I apologize for saying that because I do feel and understand now the statement of all lives matter. I mean, Black lives matter. I really do understand it because a lot of things that has happened to this week for me, it has made me really be on my knees a lot more because it was and we'll get into it a little bit later on, but one of the videos that I saw this week of a man who was just waiting at Western Union, and these cops came and tackled him, slammed him on the ground, saying he had a warrant for his arrest, and then they found out no, it was the other guy across the street, but this guy is already, and I think I sent you the video of that one earlier, but
yes, you did
that, and then the awareness of the ice cream truck, the music of the ice cream truck, that
you gotta tell people. For those of you that don't know, Marty, you gotta the history of this. It's powerful. Please.
It's made me, rethink a whole lot of things in this society, in this world that we have been in a sense talked about in front of our faces, put down in front of our faces,
right,
and we did not even know it.
That's right.
The song that we always hear, the ice cream truck, and I'll just have to play a little bit later on, in the program, so we really understand what I'm talking about. Because it hurt.
Yeah, we definitely got to play that. That's going to be a hot one. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it definitely hurt me. But, so that's been my week. It's been one that made me really, in a sense, take the sunglasses off and really be real with myself, real with the cause, and I've been praying a whole lot this week, just really because, some things has challenged me. I just said like that. Now the great thing is for me, nobody's passed, so I made it through the week. My church is still going strong. But just this climate right now has challenged me this week. So anyway, but yeah. Can I put in this disclaimer? If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and Marty McFly. If you got a comment, hit us up at 1-888-349 DONI. That's Donnie, but it's 1-888-349 DONI. I like to hear your comments and your thoughts about we would like to hear your thoughts about this week. How
definitely
that crazy rally last weekend that your president put on inside the closed room.
Dude,
how crazy that was. But anyway.
Oh my gosh. Here's what I don't understand, Marty.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, this is my humble opinion.
Uh-huh.
A lot of them say they're believers. What they believe in, I don't know. But anyway, they say they're believers, they're Christians and stuff like that. And I understand that's what they say.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But I am of the firm belief that you can be a believer and also understand and appreciate and accept science. And the study and the facts that come with science, because God gave us the brain to understand and know these things. And I'm speaking from the heart, because I don't want to see people just die mercilessly for no reason when they can avoid it. Now, yes, I still go out. I still go see people. I still, take my kids out. We still go to stores and stuff like that. But in certain situations, we wear our mask. In certain situations, we make sure we're 6 feet apart. In certain situations, we're not, like, I'm not going to a concert right now. You know what I mean? I might go to the beach because I know I can be separated from people, but I'm not going to go put myself in a room with 20, 30,000 people right now. So with that said, I don't understand how people, with everything that's going on, can think it's okay to show up at a rally in an enclosed space. Yeah. I don't understand that.
To me, it's like playing Russian roulette. It
is. It's almost like you don't value your life.
You don't value your life. You don't value the lives of people around you. And, the leader that actually called everybody to come to that, I think they're more responsible than anything else.
And here's the thing, though. Here's what I think. If the leader that called for everybody to show up at that thing, if somebody dies, he should be held accountable. I know he won't be.
Right. Yeah.
I know he's not going to be. I know they're not going to think of it that way. But I think he should be held accountable.
So many people in danger, and you won't listen. And it's sad, because if you say it's fake news and you have your followers believe that it's fake news, you are really adding to the problem.
Right.
And Mardy, even the thought, we gotta have to go to the break. But Donnie, the thought of saying, let's stop testing because every time we test, we find more cases.
But we need to know whether they are.
That's
like, why can't we have both schools of thoughts? Like, why can't we have a common sense school of thought that says, okay, this thing is real. Let's handle it. Let's deal with it. Let's make precautions and stuff. But let's also find a way to be safe and keep our life and everything going. But let's not do stupid stuff. Like, why can't we do that?
If you got a comment, hit us up. 1-888-349-DONNIE. That's 1-888-349-DONI. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. And, because this is a whole lot of stuff that we got to talk about. It's crazy.
That's right.
But we'll be right back.
And you're listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and
Marty McFly. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live.
Welcome back to Donnie Jones Live, where you are listening to me, the Tree Lady, and
me, I don't have a phrase like that. I don't want to just say me, the past.
Yeah, you do. You're listening to the fly guy, Marty McFly.
Okay, I'll take it. All right. You're listening to me, Marty McFly, that guy. Yeah. Marty McFly, that guy. But
I gotta stop saying. I know we talked about this before, but I gotta stop saying the fly guy. But that's what comes to mind when I say Marty McFly. But it's the fly guy as you.
Right, and understand this.
Did you just blow a kiss to the screen?
There is a difference between the fly guy and then the fly jock. There's different areas.
Okay, there is. That's what he was. He was the fly jock. You're right. You're right.
Fly jock. I'm just.
And you know what? I do want to give him some love because he opened up a lot of doors for people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was on for forever. Like,
literally,
I remember being 10, 11, 12 years old listening to him.
Yeah.
And he was only in a few cities. So,
do you know how he got the name of the fly jock?
I think it's because he was flying from city to city, right?
Well, he was
to do a show.
And I don't know why we are on this, but giving credit to the people that kind of paved the way. He was actually doing a morning show in one city, I think Chicago, and then doing an afternoon drive in Dallas. And this was before technology was happening. So every day he was flying from Chicago to Texas or Dallas, whatever city that was, but he would fly there every day. And that's why he became the fly jock. And then the one that kind of opened up the doors for syndication and all that stuff. So I give a shameless plug to Mr. Joyner, and
give a shout out to Mr. Tom
and
Joyner,
kids and all of them. Anyway, so back to your man, Mr. Pink. You know,
That-
and how can you how can you how can you put so many people in danger
exactly.
and risk so many people's lives that if someone does die or lose their life because of this event,
Come on
why
now.
wouldn't he be held accountable? You know, even the staff that's around him, the
No,
secret services that are all now testing positive.
no, but wasn't 6 of his staff members
Yeah.
tested positive?
Yes.
You know, or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
It's
he still didn't think, and personally, I think he's tested positive. Like, who goes around and takes that weird, whatever that chemical was that they said could prevent it or could cure it?
no,
He said he was just taking it for preventative measures. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
no. Well, see, I don't, and it's sad that I really can't trust anything that guy says. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things.
Great.
Anything that he says, and it becomes a situation that even if he says that the sky is blue, I'm questioning it. Like, really?
Right.
What
It's
he
really
really
purple,
said,
man.
I have to see it for myself. I don't, you know,
Right. But you know what? You know what, Marty, and you know, because I love you, I'm not trying to cut you off, but I don't even want to, because he's in the news. Obviously, on our show, he's going to come up, but I don't want to give him any more airtime because I feel like companies, and this is me giving them airtime, not giving them airtime. Like, you got these big media companies,
Right.
you know, CNN, MSNBC, and all these others that are supposed to be a little bit more either central or left leaning. And their headlines are always him, as opposed to the people we're supposed to be focused on. Like right now, even though the person that I was really into didn't get picked for the Democratic ticket, which I'm independent, by the way, we should be talking about Biden because that's supposed to be our guy. But if you go on CNN right now, the top post is about the orange guy, and then 5-6 stories down is Biden. That tells you something. So we gotta change the narrative. We should be talking about, I mean, we are talking about race relations, but it's like we talk about the orange guy, then we talk a little bit about race relations, then we talk about Biden, and then we flip back to the orange guy, and then we talk about other stuff. And I would like for us to as a community, start focusing on what it is. Like anything in life, if you focus on what you want, that's what you get, whether it's for the good or for the bad. It's like if you go get a cup of water and you got to go through a narrow area or you got to walk down steps and you keep going, oh, I don't want to spill it. I don't want to spill this water. I don't want to spill this water. You're going to wind up spilling it because you focus on it. If we don't want this dude in office, but we keep talking about him, we're going to wind up creating an avalanche of energy towards him to where he wants it back in office. And we're trying to not do that. So let's just start talking about Biden.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. But at the same time, I would say this. If you got a killer in your neighborhood,
right,
you don't ignore that. Sometimes
no, you definitely don't ignore
bring that to sometimes because things happen during this time that it's like, yeah, people need to know about this. Trying to eradicate Obamacare.
Yeah, people need to know about it, but I feel like we focus on it too much.
Okay, all right.
So not we as in me and you, but I'm talking about like, you know. Okay, so going back to crazy segue. By the way, you're listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and Marty McFly.
Yep.
Who do you think? I want your honest opinion. Okay, if you have an opinion on this, who do you think Biden is going to pick for his running mate for VP?
Oh, I don't know. You know, he probably. And see, I'm gonna get hate mail if I say, you know, who I hope
God.
don't. But you know, I wouldn't even say I hope you don't because I really I don't have anything against her. Actually, I think she'd be good. Miss Abrams is up there.
Maybe why would you get? I thought you was going to say somebody else. Why would you get? You wouldn't get hate mail for that. I thought you were going to say Warren or Klobuchar.
No, I would say that he probably would pick.
I think it has to be a woman of color.
What I'm saying is, here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she would be the best candidate, but he might pick her. That's why I'm saying I might get hate mail. Because he might pick her just because she's a person of color. And see, that's what I don't want. I don't want him to pick someone just because of their color. I would like him to pick someone that is qualified for the position. Not someone that just will.
Whoa! Wait a minute. What do you mean? Okay, but the way you said that, it sounds like you're saying that you don't think she's necessarily qualified for the position.
Well, I don't think I sugarcoated it or I went a different. I think I said that kind of plain and simple. I don't think I was beating around the bush. I told you her name. I told you people ain't gonna like what I said. And then I said, I don't think that she might not be the most qualified at this moment. Yeah, if you need more clarification, I'm just saying, I would want you to, because see, it
took me a minute to pick up on it. In other words, you were very clear that you're saying that she.
Because I don't know if you remember, what was it? Warren came out the other week and said she asked Biden, don't pick me, and I think you should pick a person of color. You should pick a woman of color. So she said that, like, I don't want to be your running mate because I think you need to pick someone of color. I don't want them to be a token.
Right. No, I don't want a token. But Marty, Black women are I think we have achieved at some point the highest educated in our country right now.
And understand this, I am not saying that there is not a qualified Black woman. You can go with Condoleezza Rice. I don't care. I'm saying there's people out there.
Dude, but I don't know why you just said that, but that just sent chills through my body. Now I'm gonna get some hate mail for this. I think she would be a great running mate. I know nobody. I know he's not gonna pick her. I know he's not even whatever. But I think Condoleezza Rice would be the bomb. I think that she would. I think that she would be off the chain.
And that's one of them that I think will bring both parties kind of closer together.
I think it would bring both parties together.
That's a way to work. But not saying that she would be the right one, but you have people of color that are qualified,
Yes.
Vet them, but just because I'm just not on the bandwagon, like, I want to see the proof in the pudding.
Let's go back to this Condoleezza Rice thing. Do you think the fact that she's Republican is going to turn off too many people that are on the Democratic side to where they won't show up, or do you think they'll show up to support the fact that she's an African-American woman?
Our African-American community would.
But you don't think white liberals will support her?
I don't know. And that's one of those, they will go against, right now they'll go against anybody that's going to run against Trump. I think that,
I think that would be a brilliant ticket. I think that would be a
good ticket, probably. I would have more confidence in that. But I know our people will go out. If there's somebody of color, they're going to go out and vote for them, and they might not even know what they stand for, but it's a person of color, they're going to vote for them. When Obama was running, most people did not know his policies, what he was standing on, what he was saying, what he was trying to do, initiate with his laws. They just like, that brother sound like he could talk good. I'm going to vote for him.
Dude, that's so...
And it's like, oh, okay, Now, I agree. When I first saw him on the first, I think
so funny.
But that's real. When he did the speech for Curry at the Democratic convention when he was just kind of coming out. When I saw him
Kerry,
I was like, he's going to be the next president. And a lot of people were like, no, he's not seasoned enough.
No, but here's the funny thing. Even when he was running for president, a lot of the older establishment African-American people were like, oh, well, we're not ready for a Black president. It was young people that got him in office. I mean, and we need to remember that, that it wasn't like, people was standing in line going, oh my gosh, that's my guy. They love the fact that he was African-American. But I'm telling you, I know Black people that were like, oh, Barack Obama, I mean, this country ain't ready for a Black president.
I would even think about, what's her name, Cortez. Is that her name? She just won her.
I see it, but I think that there's too much heat on her.
Well, see, here's the thing. You need someone that has some heat with them. Because you got the other guy over there that got a whole lot of heat and he stays in the media. We need someone that's over there saying
you're right.
Same thing. So we ain't sleeping on ours. Anyway, before,
Marty.
hold that thought. Listen, if you got a comment,
okay.
if you got a comment and you want to chime in, hit us up 1-888-349-DONNIE. That's 1-888-349-DONI. If anything that we said sparked a thought in you, call us.
Yes.
We're gonna take a quick break.
Please
all right?
call us.
You're listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones
and Marty McFly.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live.
Now, back to more Donnie Jones Live with Donnie and Marty McFly.
Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live.
Welcome back. You are listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and Mr. Marty McFly.
That
the
guy.
fly guy. Now I can say that guy, Marty McFly.
That is.
I'm gonna get that printed on a T-shirt.
Okay.
I was gonna say I could wear it if it says Donnie Jones and Marty McFly, but it would be really weird. I think if I just had Marty on the shirt.
No.
My husband be like, okay, I know y'all cool, like
cool,
brother and sister, but
yeah,
you can,
no, you can't.
You can't.
No,
yeah.
no. If my wife walked in here with a shirt with somebody else, another dude's name,
can't do that.
No,
can't do that.
You better take that off now.
You don't think we can do that?
But anyway, Doc, it's what? That's the truth. Don't come in my house with somebody else's name on you. I don't care. It's Jesus.
You know what's so funny? I actually had a good friend of mine who's been watching our show. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to my friend Elise. She's been watching our show, and she said, "So you're really friendly with that Marty guy?" I was like, "Yeah, I am. He's been a friend for a few years now."
Yeah.
So I was like, "I'm friendly, not flirty. I'm friendly, not flirty. We just joke a lot.
Not flirt, and
these are jokes." And a lot of time, my husband's in the background listening, so it's that kind of fly. But not now, because we're recording.
My wife is always on the other side of the door. She's always listening.
There you go.
Just to make sure.
So that's a disclaimer. There will be no rumors about Marty and Donnie. No, we don't roll like that. We're like brother and sister, or friend and friend, or cousins. Whatever.
Yeah. But you know what, Donnie? I'm gonna just actually take this moment real quick to say, what I was thinking, because during the break, you did something that inspired me or reminded me of actually what I'm talking about this Sunday. And I know this isn't like this isn't our religious moment, but at the same time, it's like I'm being led by the Spirit, because I think somebody needs to hear this at this moment. And it's like this, because this is something that I'm trying to change and I'm trying to do. Hear me out. I am trying to change my curl pattern.
What?
My curl pattern. That's one of the hardest things that you can change. And here's the thing. When every day you say the same thing, I'm running late, can you forgive me? I got something else on my schedule. That's a pattern that we keep doing.
It is a pattern.
Every time we're behind or we're running late and these are patterns that we constantly do all the time. And we say,
I'm guilty of that
in life. And it's like, how do you change your curl pattern? Well, you got to apply some heat to it. You have to either apply some chemical to it that makes it relax and change that pattern, because if not, it's going to do the same thing over and over again.
That's right.
And people say, you know what? That dress is interesting. Sometimes our curl pattern hears, I look big in this dress, huh? Is that what you're trying to say?
Right.
So I have a tendency of always saying, in a sense, that's a word phrase that I keep going to. That's a curl pattern that I'm trying to change in my life. So in so many words, I want people who's listening right now, evaluate your curl pattern and see how you want to change it. These patterns that we go through all the time, because I think if we change that, we can make a better life for ourselves. Stop having these same excuses in a sense. Like me, I'm always behind, on certain things. Like I got to do a report for this, or I got to do a report for that.
Yep.
And it's always just at the nick of time, even producing our show.
At the nick of time.
Right.
And it's funny you should say that, because what you heard when we were on break was me reschedule. What he's talking about, guys, is I own a tree service here in Atlanta. And if you're in the Atlanta area, it's called Don's Tree Service. So look us up. You can find us on Facebook, or you can call 413-8733. That's 770-413-8733 if you need us to take a look at your trees. But what I will say is this. I have a tendency to overschedule myself. Mm-hmm. And I actually have a company that does my scheduling for me. And all I have to do is pick up the phone and say, listen, guys, instead of starting my schedule here and ending it here, or instead of my appointments being 45 minutes, make them an hour, or I have control over that. Right. But instead of me stopping and taking control and breaking that pattern, I find myself in the same pattern because I'm not creating an interruption. I'm not interrupting that pattern to get a better result, you know? Now, I will say this. I've made minor changes, which means I'm less behind schedule, but I haven't made that whole 180-degree turn. And what I found is that once I started to make that turn and I started changing a little bit, it became uncomfortable. And so I've looped right back into some of my old patterns that were comfortable. And I've got to not do that. And I think even in life, that's what you have to do. You start making a change, you start making a turn, and it feels uncomfortable. And then all of a sudden you find yourself back in the old pattern that you were trying to change, you know, whereas sometimes you got to do what Marty is saying, which is turn up the heat on it. Or if you're talking about hair, you turn up the heat or you put a chemical, but we're not putting no chemicals.
No, you ain't
got to put natural.
You ain't got to put, you know, depending on what kind of, you could do some natural.
you do some natural.
Right. The thing is changing the pattern, you know, even
changing the pattern.
However you're taming your pattern, because we have a tendency that we love to go to the pattern where we're not thinking. The pattern where it's like we just on cruise control. You come into the house, you throw your keys in the same place. You don't even think about where you put them at because that's a regular pattern. Right. But once you start changing, you know, and say, okay, you know what? I want to change with purpose, you know, because change is inevitable. We're all going to change. The thing is, changing with the purpose and saying, okay, I want to change into this way. This is how I want to transition. That's right. You know, the transformation, you know, what's that scripture, you know, the renewing of your mind, don't conform to this world.
Yep, the renewing of your mind. But that makes me think about, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Transforming is in your mind. You know, conforming is the physical aspect of it. So once you start trying to change that pattern in your mind of saying, look, I know that I overbook myself all the time.
That's right.
Let me stop doing that because I'm doing a disservice for my company. And I'm not just talking about you, Donnie, but this is just overall.
No, but you're right. I need to hear you, brother.
Entrepreneur, it's better to take less clients versus take more and upset more of them, you know.
That's right. So here's the other thing. No, what I was going to say, finish the thought because I'm going to write that down. I want to go there. Finish what you were saying.
I finished.
It's going back to the pattern. We are in a phase right now where we are busier than ever, okay? And we're being blessed and all of that fun stuff. However, when you come out of a situation where things were tight, or you come out of a situation where, you know, you got to get it, and you stay in that whole anxiety of I got to get it, or else somebody else is going to get it, that's not a healthy pattern to be in. And so what I have found is that a lot of times when I was overbooking myself, it was because in my mind, I was like, okay, I got to go get it. I got to work hard. I got to, and I'm creating this sense of there's not enough time. There's not enough money. There's not enough resources. Right. So I got to go. Whereas if I change that pattern, and I've already changed that pattern as far as how I think, but what creeps back in is the feeling of I got to do so much because there's not enough. Whereas if I change that pattern and go, wait a minute, there's more than enough. I'm abundantly blessed. I have more than enough time. Guess what? I'll stop overbooking myself because I'll go, wait a minute. I don't have to do all of this today. I can do as much as I'm physically and mentally capable of. And whatever I can't get done overflows into the next day or even the next week because I have plenty of time. I have plenty of resources. I have lots of opportunity. So if I create what is now abundance, like we're being abundantly blessed right now, if I create that, if I treat that blessing as if I'm in lack, I'm going to start to lack because I'm not treating each client
Mm-hmm.
like I've got the time for them. And then they're in turn going to go, well, she was late, or they didn't get there on time. And so then that creates this whole negative atmosphere because I'm acting like I'm in lack, even when I'm not in lack, thus creating lack. So when you start to change directions, you got to change how you think. You got to change how you act. You got to change how you schedule yourself. All of these things have to be changed for you to continue to receive the blessing.
Right. And you know, it's, you know, you're about to make me go to a whole different place, and I don't want to go there right now.
Go ahead, go for it, man. Go.
It just,
well, we're here to help
about
people.
your business, and I applaud your business and the way that you. It's kind of like your business in a sense is a ministry, because you do service. You know, certain people can be an expert and they just tell you stuff, but the service is actually doing the work, you know, and being out there doing it versus someone just trying to dictate. And I appreciate the way that your company works. And I'm trying to give you a shameless plug, you know, Don's Tree
Thank
Service.
You. I appreciate that.
If it ain't got service in it, it ain't the same, you know, but y'all,
come on now.
Service people, y'all clean, y'all do it. But with that same thing, taking time for your clients. I guess this is the same way of like entrepreneurship, but taking time for those clients, not overbooking it, because people don't like excuses after a while. They'll accept them, but they don't want to hear that every day. Like, oh,
they don't want to hear them.
You know, I'm running late today. Okay, well, is late 30 minutes? Is late, you know, because I have
late 2 hours.
Right. You know, I have a young lady. Well, I had a young lady. They don't listen because they don't know yet. They don't listen to the show. But had a young lady who was in the praise team that, you know, she would always come late, you know, or at the last minute call and say, oh, I can't make it today, you know.
Come on.
And it's like, you know what, because of your approach to my business, I'm like your client because I'm compensating you. This isn't working out. You know, after so long, I don't want to hear any more excuses. I don't want to hear what had happened was people just go a different direction. You know, so in entrepreneurship and in, you know, business and just whatever you do, sometimes.
Or even just your job, your boss is going to get sick of you, you know, not being their own time.
Because your patterns are the same, and you are, you know, people that are late, that's always late, that are known.
Always
late. That makes, you know, that says a lot more. And you don't realize what it says, but it says a lot more. Anyway.
And you know what? It says a lot about being unorganized. Like, I can be overbooked, but I don't necessarily have to be late. Like, if I'm late for every appointment, that's more about how I manage my time.
Yeah.
How I'm thinking. Now, I will be transparent. I'm not late for all my appointments. So I want to put that out there because I don't want it to make it sound like I'm just late.
Okay.
Well, but I'm late enough.
Donnie, you know, we being recorded too, so I'm gonna just save you real quick. We're gonna take a break, so if you got a comment, hit us up 1-888-349.
I ain't late all the time.
1-888-349. Donnie, I don't know why, for some reason, you inspired that train of thought of changing your pattern. Anyway, we love y'all. We'll be right back. Okay, you're listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and Marty McFly.
And Marty McFly.
We'll be back.
Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live.
Now, back to more Donnie Jones Live with Donnie and Marty McFly.
Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones.
Welcome back. You're listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and
Marty McFly. Now, Donnie, you was about to say something to the women about you or how
this is what I'm gonna say to the women. Okay, y'all listen to me. Okay, there's a point here, but I'm gonna take a minute to get there. When I first started dealing with my weight and talking about my weight and being healthier, there was a part of me that was a little self-conscious. I was seeing results and I was feeling results, but it wasn't necessarily evident and it wasn't necessarily obvious to a lot of other people. But internally, I felt a little conflicted because I'm walking around overweight. I'm walking around not getting the adequate exercise, but I was reading all these books and I was making some better choices. It's just that I was working towards it and I wasn't there yet. So internally, I wasn't talking about my weight as much and the changes that I was making because I felt self-conscious about the stupid decisions that I had made to become overweight. I was self-conscious because I wasn't doing everything should be doing to walk my talk. So I was self-conscious. So I didn't want to talk about it. That goes back to how a lot of people feel about relationships and dealing with their daughters and talking to their daughters about choosing men. A lot of us women have chosen mates that are not healthy. A lot of us women have gotten into relationships that are jacked up. And we might say to our daughters, you know what, don't get into a messed up relationship or something like that, because then I want you to wind up like me or whatever. Just like I would say to my daughter, you know, don't eat bad food. And I would kind of leave it at that. But I didn't get into the meat and potatoes, pun intended. So here's what I will say. You cannot get into a relationship with a guy that is not good for you if you don't get in the relationship. Meaning you have to make a choice to get into that relationship. You made a choice. When the dude lied to you the first time that he was running late, that was a sign. When the dude didn't have a job but was talking about all these things he's working on that never ever came to fruition, that was a sign. When the dude doesn't treat his mother and his sisters right, that was a sign. When the dude got 2-3 baby mamas that he's not handling his business with and not taking care of his kids, that's a sign. When the dude can't keep a job, that's a sign. But instead of listening to those signs, we listen to our hormones, we listen to our emotions, and we listen to people that don't have necessarily the right road path. And we start getting into these jacked up relationships. And then instead of telling our daughters, don't kick it with this dude, don't be in that relationship, don't put yourself in a position and sleep with a guy unprotected. Don't go out here and have babies with dudes that can't provide for that baby, you know? And so I feel like as a community, we got to start having those real conversations. Well, then I get people to go, well, you know what, Donnie, you know, not everybody can be this and not everybody can be that. You're absolutely right. Not every guy can be that great partner. Not every guy can be that great provider. Well, I think a lot of guys can't. Not every guy will be that great partner. Not every guy will be that great provider. And if that's the case, that's not your guy. That's not the relationship you should be in, period. But until we start raising our standards for what we will allow in our relationships, we're gonna keep running we're gonna keep the same cycle going. The first time he hits you, that's the time to leave.
Yeah. I just want to chime in just for a hot second, just to, bring you off the soapbox a little bit, because I agree with you.
It's not a soapbox; it's real,
right? But I will add this in too. Know what you don't want in a relationship.
Yeah.
Know what you don't want in the individual, and then at the same time,
I got grown ass women that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
That are in relationship with a deadbeat dude for 13 years that hasn't held down a job.
Well,
but he living in her house.
Here's the thing now, Donnie.
What?
It's always easy to look from the outside looking in.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Because see, here's the thing.
We're going to argue about this, Marty. Because
I know.
You know what? When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, that decision that you wouldn't make last year, all of a sudden that decision is easy.
And see, here's what happens. A lot of people say, just get rid of him. Kick him on out.
Yes.
But now, if he's putting his hands on you, yes. If he's putting his hands on you,
yes.
But see, here's the thing. Wait. Hold on, Donnie. Everybody wants that Barack Obama man. But ain't nobody trying to be a Michelle. I'm just saying like this. Hold yourself accountable too, because
I agree.
The guy is a deadbeat, then you got to move on. But here's the thing: has he always been that deadbeat? What did you foster in that relationship? Because at the same time, you bring something to that relationship.
I agree. I agree.
You, who my wife is, and who I am, is a product of her and a product of me.
I agree.
And you have to look back and evaluate yourself too. To say, what did I do for us to get to this point? You've been married to this guy for 25 years. Right. And he's done certain things. He hasn't done certain things. Y'all have had your ups and y'all have had y'all downs. you might be going up right now, but your upness isn't always going to last.
You're breaking up a little bit.
You got to
Right.
You got to always evaluate yourself. Now, I'm not going against what you're saying,
Right.
not at all. But
no, I agree, Marty. But at some point, we got to look at the results and go, we need to do something different.
Right. Because some people are just like this.
My dad, put it like this. I'll bring my own stuff in. My dad was an abusive guy.
Yeah, you talk about that every week. We know that your dad was abusive.
But here's what I'm saying. I've never, ever had a man hit me. Ever.
You are a blessed woman.
Other than my father. You know why?
Blessed.
Because I said I would never date a guy that would hit me. And if I
understand this.
And here's the thing though. No. Because there's women that have been hit once and they stayed.
Yeah.
If I did make the mistake of being in a relationship with a guy that hit me, it only takes once. I'm lucky that I haven't been hit. But it only takes, I could have 3 kids and be broke. I'm telling you what I know about myself. Right. I could have 3 kids, be broke, no money. The first time he hits me, I'm gone.
Right.
Period.
Yeah. No, I know. It's all over right now. If you yelled and you got drunk, but you don't drink, and you yelled and start throwing glasses and everything at Morgan, and all of a sudden he smacked you just like, Donnie, wake up. Oh, wait a minute. You smacked me even though I just did everything to you. You smacked me. I'm gone. But you're right. You're right. I understand that. You
period.
Yeah, period. Most women don't sign up to say, I want an abusive husband.
That's true. They don't.
And they don't, and it's not like men have a sign on them saying, I'm a woman here.
They do have a sign. Almost all of them.
No.
They generally will have some type of anger issues. They start with belittling you. If a man belittles you verbally, bye.
Everybody
you're saying, Marty, everybody is different.
Right.
But I am telling you, as a woman,
different.
As a woman, if a man is verbally abusive to me, I'm gone.
Right.
Period. Yes. Now that may not work for everybody else.
Gone. Right. And all I'm saying is
I was dating a guy. I was dating a guy, Marty, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was dating a guy that actually, he may have been a really great guy. He may have been. Okay. And we'd only been dating a short period of time. Okay. We'd only been on a few dates or whatever.
Right.
I didn't like the way he talked to his dog, the way he treated his dog. I didn't like it.
Yep.
He was very rough with the dog. He was very I didn't like the energy. Now, he had never done anything to me, but I was like, nope, I don't like that pattern. People give you clues into who they are.
Right. And see, everybody has a proper taste. Like you said, you didn't like the way he talked to your dog. You might wanted someone that just said, whatever you want.
No, that's not true.
Less words. I don't have any kind of aggressiveness at all.
My husband's a quiet guy, but when
that's what I'm saying. And exactly. That's what you were attracted to.
Exactly. But here's the difference though. He's a quiet guy, but when he says something, he means it. Last night, I made a decision to do something. Okay. And I did not. I thought I had talked to him about it and I didn't. Okay. It was pertaining to sending my girls on a trip that I personally couldn't go to and he couldn't go to because our schedules changed. But because they're older and they are responsible girls, I felt comfortable with them going. But they're our kids, okay? So I thought I had communicated something with him. Okay. We were literally at the last minute, we were supposed to be, taking the girls over to where these people were departing. My husband comes home, and like I said, he's a nice guy, kind of laid back, real quiet guy. He came home, and I said, well, aren't we getting ready to go drop the girls off? He's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, I thought I told you that we're going to drop the girls off and let them go to such and such. And he's like, no, you never talked to me about this. Now, these people are sitting there waiting for us, right? He's like, my girls are not going. He goes, you didn't talk to me about this. We're not, no. I was like, okay. Because I respect his opinion. Those are his kids too. He didn't yell and scream or whatever, but he was like, no, they're not going. And he wasn't like passive about it. He was like, no, they're not going. very firm about it. There's certain things I don't cross him on. When it comes to his kids, when it comes to how he feels about certain things, but he's a laid back, quiet guy. But when he says no about a thing, he means no. So he's not just, okay, honey, whatever you want. Okay, honey, whatever you want. That is not the man I married. I married a strong, positive, motivated, sensitive guy.
Right.
But because he's passive and quiet, people take that as weakness, and it's not. He knows how to treat me. He knows how to love me.
Right.
You know,
and and real quick, I'm not going against talking about your individual marriage or anything like that. Everybody has different. It's a family culture. Everybody has different things, and just.
I want to talk about violence. This I know we got to get going.
Yeah, we got to go. You know, and I'll say this: violence, no. Violence in the household, no.
Violence, lies,
love in the household is always there, and putting God and everything in it. Having a foundation of something to stand on builds family. Anyway, Donnie, we can keep talking about this, but we gotta go.
We could, dude.
Love y'all, and yeah. Woosah, Donnie. Woosah.
Standards. Raise your standards. It'll change your life.
Yeah. Until next
Raise
week.
Your standards. It will change your life. Tony Robbins.
Yep.
We gotta go.
Yep. Love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful week. Donnie, you be blessed, and we will talk next week, all right?
We sure enough will. Raise your standards.
Right. Y'all listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and Marty McFly.
Yeah.